really done thought I was about to forget that it was spooky season? There's just something about this time of year, you know? Colorful, crunchy leaves falling in the cool autumn air, sweaters and hoodies galore, spooky decorations on every porch and lawn. Oh, and the obligatory Harry Potter marathon, of course. Guys, we haven't touched the Wizarding World yet on this channel, but best believe we're about to. I was planning on waiting until the release of Hogwarts Legacy to get in on the Harry Potter hype train, but with Halloween upon us and the passing of the late and great Robbie Coltrane, timetables have been moved up.
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now!
So go ahead and get you some frog chocolates and some Horcrux potion.
Stop! It will stop, Professor, it will stop. But only if you keep drinking.
Because it's time to relive the magic of all 8 movies with Hagrid the Groundskeeper. Hagrid's importance to the Harry Potter story cannot be understated. He is, in many ways, our introduction to the Wizarding World. Sure, the first characters we see in the series are Dumbledore and McGonagall, but Hagrid arrives soon after with an infant Harry as they leave him at 4 Privet Drive in Little Whinging. It's in this moment that we learn Dumbledore would trust Hagrid with his life, meaning this is someone who is going to be critically important moving forward.
Professor Dumbledore, sir? Professor McGonagall?
In the classic hero's journey, the hero starts in their ordinary world until they receive some call to action and are brought into a new world by their aid and mentor. This is the entire point of Hagrid's character in The Sorcerer's Stone. He is Harry's call to action as he arrives to take him to Hogwarts on his 11th birthday.
You're a wizard, Harry.
He is Harry's guide in this new and scary world as he gets what he needs for school, and the one who introduces him to the conflict of the story, the stone itself. It's also worth noting that Hagrid is the one who gives Harry his iconic owl, Hedwig.
Harry, happy birthday!
Throughout the school year, Hagrid is kind of like home base, appearing every now and then throughout the story to ground and point our characters in the right direction, even if he doesn't always mean to.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
In this movie and the next, Hagrid really kind of fills the role of cool uncle, occasionally breaking rules with the trio and trying his best to seem like a real adult from time to time, but failing miserably.
Yeah, but what if he don't like Romania? What if the other dragons are mean to him? He's only a baby after all.
Jumping ahead to the end of the movie, Hagrid also has what might be the most emotional moment in the entire movie. Even though Hagrid's role in the Chamber of Secrets isn't as prominent as the last movie, he is still an integral part of the plot. When Draco calls Hermione a
mudblood,
which is essentially the wizard version of calling someone a nigger,
Whoa, brother, whoa, now.
it's Hagrid that we see deliver this beautiful moment to the trio.
More to the point, they've yet to think of a spell that our Hermione can't do. Don't you think on it for 1 minute.
When the Basilisk is released in Hogwarts and carrying out its super racist schemes against the Muggle-born students, Hagrid is immediately suspected and taken to Azkaban, right after sending Harry and Ron to get destroyed by my personal worst nightmare.
why spiders? Why couldn't we follow the butterflies?
We learn that this is because many years ago, Tom Riddle framed Hagrid and Aragog to point suspicion away from himself, something only Dumbledore managed to see through. This unfortunately removes Hagrid for the majority of the movie, but his return at the end is, again, genuinely one of the most moving scenes in the entire film. Prisoner of Azkaban sees Hagrid's first year as a professor at Hogwarts, and it's as chaotic as you'd expect. Hagrid and his hippogriff, Buckbeak, are really the heart of this movie in my opinion. While Hagrid once again being unfairly persecuted and Buckbeak being sentenced to death take a backseat to the greater mystery of who Sirius Black really is in his role in Harry's life, they're really the emotional center of the movie. Saving Buckbeak from an unjust death is set as a parallel to saving Sirius from his unjust fate. Both well-meaning, but framed by awful people.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
It's a lot easier to sympathize with a cute animal, so it presents a nice surrogate story to go alongside our main story. So, yes, Hagrid's role in this movie is noticeably lesser than the first two, but this is also a sign of our heroes growing up and needing him less and less. And that trend of Hagrid taking an increasingly smaller role in these movies will only continue as we get into 4, 5, and 6. Hagrid is such a clown in this movie and I freaking love it. For 2.5 hours, his entire role is to simp for the Harry Potter version of Lady D from Resident Evil Village. On a more serious note, he is the first to protest Harry's involvement in the Triwizard Tournament, once again showing just how protective he is over Harry. And later, he's the device that's used to alert Harry to his first task, the dragon. He also just casually drops the best line in the entire movie.
Hagrid, have you combed your hair?
As a matter of fact, I have. You might like to try the same thing now and again.
So now you guys are starting to see what I mean. This movie was really short. He really doesn't have much of a role at all beyond comedy, which is really sad, but it is indicative of the passing of time and Harry and our trio growing up. Once again, Hagrid's role in this movie is extremely brief, which is really surprising considering this is largely considered to be the best movie. Either that or Prisoner of Azkaban. Hagrid goes recruiting for centaurs and introduces Groppy, the grossest thing in Harry Potter. Interestingly enough, both of those things come together at the end to deal with our antagonist, Dolores Umbridge.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
Hagrid's presence in this movie is largely comedic, but it's easily the best sequence in the movie. When Harry takes liquid luck and goes full-blown crackhead mode, he stumbles into Hagrid mourning the death of Aragog, and his interactions with crackhead Harry are absolutely hilarious.
Oh, not to mention the pincers.
Yeah, I reckon that too.
I am disgusted.
Then he gets drunk and passes out right before the big emotional moment from Slughorn. Okay, so this is where things start to kick up again as Hagrid comes to relocate Harry and fight in the Battle of the Seven Potters. He reminds us that
I brought you here 16 years ago. Seems only right that I should be the one to take you away now.
Yes, it's all very touching.
this is such a brief but beautiful scene as it brings the entire story full circle and it reminds us why we love Hagrid so much. Unfortunately, he's knocked out during the battle and Harry is forced to take over. When he's vulnerable, Hedwig swoops in to save him and dies. The next time we see Hagrid is actually really brutal. When Harry finally comes to surrender his life and die for everyone, it's revealed that the Death Eaters have captured him, and he cries out when he sees him throwing his life away. They then make him carry what they believe to be Harry's dead body to the school in victory, and the look on Hagrid's face says it all. However, the man who brought Harry into the wizarding world in the first place is now the man from whose arms Harry is reborn, in a sense, crushing the enemy's morale and inspiring new life in the forces of Hogwarts. Once the Battle of Hogwarts is over, he finds Harry and gives him a warm hug, his last appearance in the movies.